Hi everybody. So I am back just making my second update for today. Um, a few things have happened, so I just wanted to check up on what has happened and let you guys know. If we get interrupted in a minute, I'm sorry. My boyfriend is bringing me pizza, so he may come knock on my door and bring me some pizza for my birthday. So if that happens, just ignore me. Or him. Ignore him. Okay, so let's just pull up the map here. I don't know whether to read on the text or the map, but let's just do the map for now. So like my earlier update said, Alaska did experience a larger, no, not a larger, I always say larger, it's a moderate. To me, it's always large because I'm always watching them. Anything above a 4 is large to me, but this is probably a moderate to large earthquake in Alaska that happened this morning or this afternoon. Not really sure the exact time. Let me try to find it. I'm just pushing all the dots because I know it's here somewhere. Oh, I think it's over here more. I think this is the one. Yeah, 4.7. So, like the update that I gave earlier, using the Dutch Sins method, you would expect that to kind of come in through Canada and down to the west coast. I talked about this in my update earlier today. And one did come down to the west coast and spread out. Well, I'm not going to say it came from Alaska. Where is the one I'm looking for? There's another one in Canada. There's supposed to be one in Canada that was right around... Oh no, it's over here more. Okay, because I forget that Canada goes clear down by New York. So there's one right here. And I'm not going to necessarily say that this was seismic activity coming from Alaska that came down here, but it is a coincidence that we did get a 3.9 in this area that is usually really quiet. But, you know, it might have been inspired by different things. But, however, oh my goodness, that fan is aggravating my asthma. However, it is not coincidence that there's an earthquake down here in Canada now that's a 4.7. Excuse me. So we come over here to Alaska, a 4.7. Like I said earlier, I expected something to come into this area, and another 4.7. The same magnitude even. And I did say if something came, I think I said if something came into this area, that I would expect energy to come down into Idaho, Utah, Montana, Wyoming, Arizona, all the West Coast states. But this possibly could come through using the Dutch Sins method. We would assume that it could. Is this a Dutch Sins method, or am I lying? Or is this my own method? Let me see. So, what would Dutch Sins say about this? He would probably say that it was gonna come down. Yeah, he might say that. I don't know. I believe it could come down to what he calls the North American craton, I believe. I don't follow his pattern, actually. I think there's a different pattern. And, I have a different pattern set up by a video that I saw of earthquakes that were, it kind of showed like a 30-year earthquake, active video. So like you got to see like all the earthquakes of all the different magnitudes. For smaller earthquakes there was just little dots. For bigger there was like bigger dots, and they all had different colors, and you got to see a pattern, and the pattern showed that there's kind of a line that comes from maybe California up to Utah, and then up to Montana, and then up near Canada, and then down into Idaho. So it's not we kind of think, some of us think that Idaho and Utah are connected because of the big earthquakes that we had a few months ago that were just like so close together. It was kind of coincidental to some people. And I do think they are connected, but I don't think it's following along the North American craton like expected. And I don't always use the Dutch sense method, so I need to be careful, I guess, with saying something that might be my own intuition. Because I use a lot of my own intuition with this, and that's why I like doing this, is because I see patterns really well. I always have, so my intuition says that this Canada earthquake could potentially trickle down into the western states, not just the West Coast and California, but maybe Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Utah, Nevada, Oregon, Washington, Arizona, even down into Texas. I know Texas sometimes gets some energy down there when there's enough energy coming through. Am I expecting it to 100%? No, I'm just saying it could happen. It could also come through to the to California and the west coast in California. It would not surprise me if it did, or if it came through and you didn't see it later until this area picked up in the kind of central United States, or maybe even eastern United States area. Oklahoma is always busy with earthquakes because they do a drilling technique where they actually put sewer material into the ground, and that sewer material comes up, the methane gas is created, and it comes up and it spins wind mines, or what did I just say? Windmills? Turbines, wind turbines. I guess I'm mixing my words up. And so Oklahoma is, and this is a fact, you can Google on the US, you can go look on the USGS website and it'll tell you Oklahoma is always really active. However, the rest of this area is not really active too much. So if you do see some activity through this area, then it could be because of this Canada earthquake up here. But I'm not going to say for certain that it will, because I don't feel it. I don't feel that there's a pattern. I always have to feel it before I say for certain, and that's just like, I like Dutch Sense because he has a method that kind of works textbook style, but I do my own thing, and I do a lot of my readings with intuition. I listen and learn from all these great forecasters, and I've adapted I absorb what I like from each one, and then I also just add my own intuition to it, and I do really well with that. So I'm not feeling anything necessarily, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a little more activity in unusual places. I think right now there's a lot of sometimes you would say that there is a seismic area that's at unrest, and that's kind of an official term that scientists would use, seismologists and earth scientists would use to describe something that is a geological location that has turmoil. And I don't really necessarily feel any of that for the USA or Alaska. I do believe maybe Russia has some unrest or up in this area. I did say in my last update that Russia would get hit. This is not an area that gets hit by a lot of activity, not compared to some others, and it's no coincidence that we have a 4.5 and a 3.6. So, and that might come up over the Bering Sea along the plates. Here, the white line is where the plates are, up into Alaska and down again. So we might be seeing more activity tomorrow if that's true, but I have not seen anything that says it's for sure transferring over. I hope I'm not boring you guys. I sound kind of monotone today. So, okay. Basically, the point. Let's get to the point. Russia, I think, has some unrest going on. Japan, maybe too. All the energy seems to be more than... It's going up now. It's going up and over now, but for yesterday and the day before, it was all stuck down here. New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, the Indonesian and Malaysian area, the Philippines area, all had tons of activity. And I did make an update about what do I expect to happen. In that area, I do believe that activity will just continue. We might see some higher, moderate to high, or moderate to large earthquakes in New Zealand, following the plate boundary up into this bend, in the Fiji area, what else? The Tonga, Samoa area. I believe that it could hit, definitely, it could hit Papua New Guinea. I do assume for sure it's going to hit there. Pretty big, like 5.0 probably. Unless the energy finally just dissipates and moves upward, and then if it's gonna go upward, then we're gonna have definitely more activity coming into the Pacific West Coast on the California West Coast. And I think anywhere in this general area could get hit. I think it's kind of moving over this way. Maybe we can see something in Sri Lanka, into the Indian Ocean, and then dissipates from there. I go more into that in my other update that I made today. What else do I want to say? I am still expecting something to come into here. I don't think it's going to be very big now. I did say last week that it would be probably 5.0. I think it would probably be a 4.5 or something, 4.3. Even, no, let's even take it down lower. Let's say like 3.8, and I give myself maybe 2 weeks. But, I'm not really sure about that. This is not an area that gets hit a lot. These are probably earthquakes that it's because I'm sensing energy coming into this area. So I think that for sure these earthquakes are kind of because of the energy that I am sensing coming into the area. And I made the prediction before all these higher earthquakes over in this area happened. I would not doubt that one comes into this area now. I'm not really sure the magnitude, and I'm not too sure about it. Honestly, I'm not super sure about anything today. I don't necessarily feel anything today. I think that I don't feel like anything is necessarily like a red hot watch zone. I do think Mexico has some unrest. I do think so. Yeah, I am still expecting one to come down into the southern part of South America. Is this all Argentina, going down from kind of in this area? That's Argentina? I don't even know. I'm not. I got probably like a C or D in geography when I was in high school. So anyways. Yeah, so that's pretty much my update. I don't really know what else to say that I haven't covered in the other one that I made today. Here's Idaho, has quite active. It seems to have a fault that's going along north to south and east to west sometimes, which is intriguing to me. And why does it, some days it goes all along from, if you're looking at the screen, you see this mountain range from north to south, and some days there's a line going all the way down it. And then other days there's a line that goes a little bit down and then over to the east. And that, I wonder why that is. Like, I wish I knew. Like, I see patterns a lot, and I'm like, why is that? Why is that? And I look for answers, and I look to see what's going on, and that's kind of how I learn a lot, actually, is by answering or asking questions. So I'm always asking questions. Most of them don't get answered, but some of them do, and then I learn something cool that is unique to my style of forecasting. Let me check out what these ones are. I'm just curious how big they are. Not too big. So we got a lot of 2s. I'm trying to see exactly how much energy is coming through this area. And so far, 2s. 2s. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. You know, I'm actually going to just add there's a 3. Okay, so I guess it is receiving some of the energy from this bigger one out here. Where was that 3? You know, I'm going to put a mild watch on Alaska in this area, just because they had the earthquake so far away in Alaska that I think that anywhere in this area could experience a moderate one, maybe 4.0. Yeah, let's say like a 4.0. I'm just gonna put a mild watch there. So I think I've run out of things to say. That's pretty much, I just wanted to update you guys because it is cool that we got some in the Rush area, like I said, some bigger ones. 4.5, 3.6. I wish they would come inland to make me to make me look cool. Just kidding. I don't know what I'm saying. I wish they'd just come inland so I could be like, ha, got it. Got it. Because I can't really claim those because I didn't say that was the exact area. But like I said, in the China area, those are coming in because of the energy that I was kind of forecasting to come in that area. I definitely believe so. I definitely think that these as well in the Russia, kind of like that area, the Kuril Islands, I think it is definitely happening because of the energy that I was forecasting to come to Russia. Because honestly, I mean, there is no area along these plates that is really not active. I think that it's all active, but this is definitely an area that is least active or less active, and so yeah. Anyways, so let's see. I just wanted to make the update because we have some cool energy coming in from the Kuril Islands area to Alaska, coming down now into the Canada area right here. And I assume that it's gonna come somehow down into the western states. I don't necessarily think that it's gonna, I don't feel like there's anything really boiling. I don't know why I can say that. But I don't feel like there's like a threat or a watch that needs to happen. Famous last words. I think it'll come down and just kind of disperse evenly without any problems. I don't know why I can say that. Again, I guess it's just intuition. It could follow the plate boundary and maybe strike, maybe have a moderate to large one out here. out to the west coast of California near Eureka. Is that California still? Yes, it is, right? I think it's still California, either that or the Oregon area. Anyways, to this. Well, what is Eureka? That's California, right? Anyways, I think that it could potentially come out to the sea. Maybe like a 4.8. Now we gotta remember all these predictions I'm making, because I know that things will happen and I'll be like, I probably won't even remember what I said, so I'll try to mark my words. And that's pretty much all that I have to say today. I don't think there's anything else that I really want to go over. I think that pretty much covers it, and I hope everybody is having a good night. And, well, I'll talk to you all later. Bye.